Injured in a car crash, slip and fall, or on the job, you need a law firm that's big enough to challenge the largest insurance companies and corporations. Morgan & Morgan has nearly 500 attorneys throughout the country, and they've recovered billions of dollars for clients like you. Get America's largest personal injury law firm to fight for you with no upfront cost, and it's free unless they win. Visit forthepeople.com. And this portion of the KC Crew podcast is brought to you by Philo. Get over 50 of your favorite channels like Revolt, BET, VH1, MTV, and more with Philo. Philo brings you live and on-demand TV plus unlimited recording for $20 a month with no contract needed. Philo is available on Roku, iOS, Fire TV, Android TV, and Apple TV. To start your free trial, visit philo.tv/KC Crew. That's PHILO.TV KC Crew. What up, y'all? It's DJ MV.
And I am Gia Casey.
And this is another edition of the KC Crew.
Welcome.
That's right. We missed you guys.
We did.
Yeah, we were out on a cruise, on a boat.
We were on the baby's birthday vacation.
That's right. Our baby's birthday is June 3rd and June 5th.
Yes, respectively, London and Jackson. They're a year and 2 days apart.
And I'm not going to lie, you know, we do the party thing so much. We done did every theme party that you could possibly imagine. You know, whether it was Carnival or it was, how many vacations? I mean, how many parties did we do?
Just with the babies or with all the kids?
With everybody.
Too many.
Too many. So what we like to do now is instead of having a huge birthday party here, we have something small here and we do something big that we feel the kids will love. Mm-hmm. And this year we went on a cruise, a Disney cruise.
Yes. The only thing that they said that they wanted for their birthday was a trip.
Correct.
That's how they put it. We want to go on a trip. And I said, are you sure you don't want to have a party? And London was like, no, I'd prefer to go on a trip. I said, you don't want a party where everybody comes and brings you presents and celebrates you? She said, no, I just want to go on a trip with my family.
Right.
I said, as you wish, baby girl.
Yeah, so we went on a Disney cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Gia and I have been on cruises before. Cruise was our thing at one point when we first got married.
Well, you know,
even before we got married.
A lot of people have been asking me about cruises since we went on this cruise. So I got a lot of comments and DMs about people saying, well, how do you like cruises? I'll start by saying we have probably been on maybe 10 or 12 cruises.
Correct.
We used to cruise all the time when we were younger. And the reason why is you set a budget and you're able to stick to that budget.
Correct.
When you go on a cruise, your finances are very predictable regarding what you're going to spend. You know that you buy your cruise tickets. Mm-hmm. You know that you buy the airfare to get to whatever port that you're leaving from.
Right.
Everything on the cruise is included.
Correct.
So your food, your entertainment is all included. The only thing that you have to worry about outside of that is your excursions.
Or alcohol if you're a drinker.
But
they do have sodas and juice, apple juice, orange
all
juice,
of
things
that
like that.
is included.
Is included, correct.
So when we were younger, we really liked to travel that way because you all know, like if you have a destination vacation, let's say you're going to Aruba. Uh-huh. You fly there, that's a cost. You pay for your hotels, that's a cost. And then everything else, all the miscellaneous stuff, all of those things that are unpredictable, they always seem to add up and blow your budget.
Right.
Cabbing around the islands, the entertainment, your food, your alcohol, all of these things. It's hard to know how much you're going to spend. And I found that when we traveled that way when we were younger, we always spent more than we anticipated spending.
We were balling on the budget. We ain't have it.
When we were, I'm talking about like 19, 20, early 20s. That's how we used to travel. So we really liked it. So if you're on a strict budget, I recommend cruising. Disney cruise, on the other hand, a horse of a different color, because I would say that that's one of the more pricey cruises. A lot of people, they hear Disney cruise and they get alarmed. And I would say, yeah, there's a reason to get alarmed with the Disney cruise. But people also asked if it was worth it.
Right.
And I think that it was worth every penny. It was amazing. The babies had a great time. My teens had a great time. Rashawn, myself, and Irma, we had a great time. And to be honest, I was a little concerned when I booked it because I thought I was booking like a cheese fest. Like, oh my gosh,
what you mean?
This is going to be like the cheesiest thing
Let's switch mics for a quick second because I hear a little air on your mic.
So is it okay if there's air in your mic?
I can fix it. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I just thought that it was going to be cheesy. I thought that, you get on the boat and it's going to be character this and character that and everything based around a 5 to 8 year old mentality. So I thought that we were going to go and it was going to be like pure sufferation and the babies were going to have a great time and we were just along for the ride. And it was the exact opposite.
No, the cruise was absolutely positively amazing. I use that word all the time. I mean, between the food, which was great, I want to say Broadway shows was amazing, and just the safety of the cruise, we really enjoyed it. So,
you said the safety?
The safety.
What do you mean the safety?
They have a kids club, and in the kids club, you can drop your kids for a couple of hours, and it's kind of like a daycare center / babysitter.
I would not use. Oh, sometimes you're so terrible at describing.
No, what I say.
Okay.
I say a daycare / babysitter.
No.
You drop your kids off, and like a daycare center, they play all day. They have excursions. They have games.
Stop it. They don't have excursions. You stop.
Well, you asked me.
This is that's so wrong. Okay. A lot of people, what I've learned is that they love going on a Disney cruise because they have something called a kids club.
Correct.
I think on Disney it's called the Oceanaires Club. A lot of cruise ships do have kids clubs, but they have something called the Oceanaires Club. And yes, you're right. Parents love it because they can drop their kids off in a safe environment.
Correct.
Where they do activities and Disney related things. They have a section called a lab where they do like scientific type things, but it's all fun and relatively Disney related.
Right.
But it's not a daycare. It's not like you drop the kids off and then you go about your business and they're being babysat.
Right.
It is designed to enhance the kids' experience on the boat. And the benefit is that the parents can go and do things that they have reserved exclusively for adults on the cruise.
Right.
So that's great. Now, when you say excursions, they didn't have excursions. Disney has their own private island called Castaway Cay.
Right.
And they bring the kids club onto the island. So when you disembark and you're on the island, you can bring your kids to the kids club and they do fun things that are, they do treasure hunts or scavenger hunts. They have water sprinklers. They have all types of things for the kids to do.
Correct.
And then you can go off and do adult things like jet ski and parasail, which is what we did. So we only dropped them off for, say, maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours because I wanted, that's just me. We didn't really utilize the kids club as much as we could have because I wanted to experience my kids' happiness on the boat. I wanted to see them have fun. I wanted to see the joy and, the magic in their faces. So we dropped them off one day on the boat for about an hour while we got ready because I just didn't want them sitting around waiting for us to get ready. So all the grown-ups and the teens, we all got ready. Then we went back and got them ready. And then we dropped them off when we went to Castaway Cay for that little bit of time.
And it's pretty dope because the boat has its own, let me see if I just turn it for me. I just want to see something. Okay. Yeah, the boat has its own, I want to say like its own app where you can actually, the kids can text you when they're tired of, being in the kids club. So for one instance, we were out at the beach and we were with the older kids. We were jet skiing with Madison and Logan. We put the kids in the kids club. And Jackson texted. He was done. So,
he was like, I'm ready to get picked up.
And I was pissed off because it's like, I would say like a 7 to 10 minute walk in 100-degree weather.
It felt like it was more than 10 minutes. But yeah, maybe the weather made it seem longer. It's definitely like a 10-minute walk.
Right. And my balls were hurting because TMI. The stuff.
You were walking like you just got off a horse.
Right. Because
like you had a saddle between you.
For some reason, the swim trunks, the nets in the swim trunks
that catch the bizzles.
Yes, when you swim the swim trunks.
Yeah.
Those irritate me. And I wore them. And after about maybe an hour, it just irritates my leg and my testicles, my balls.
Come on, Rashad.
I'm just telling them. So I was walking mad funny. Somebody on the trip might be like, damn, why was Envy walking funny? He might have a urinary infection or what is it?
I don't know that.
Yeast infection? Well, whatever.
Oh, wow.
Whatever.
Great, yeah.
But I didn't. It was that
men actually have jock itch.
Oh, jock itch, whatever it was.
Right.
So anyway, that net really bothers me. So I was walking mad funny. But anyway, I don't even know why I got
spent a lot of time on that net.
I know.
But it really did bother you.
It did bother me.
Yes.
So we had to walk. The reason I'm saying this because we had to walk 10 minutes with my stuff bothering me.
Mm-hmm.
And when we got there, he was like, I don't want to leave. We're doing a treasure hunt.
We're about to do the treasure hunt.
And we didn't find a treasure. I said, look.
Please let us stay. Please let us stay.
I
was like, you guys don't want to go to the beach and collect shells?
And he was like, no. A little boy. We just walked 10 minutes all the way over here in 100-degree weather. We all going back.
But that also meant that if we left them, that we'd have to go back and get them afterwards.
Right.
So, yeah.
We pulled them out of there, and they had fun at the beach. We all chilled at the beach, and we had a great time. So, but they were able to text and say, Dad, I'm ready to pick me up. It was just amazing. And I don't want to bore you with the whole Disney cruise and how it was, because this is not a paid sponsorship. This is not an ad. We really just had a good time. So let's talk some other shit.
Okay.
All right.
But let me just say, yes, we enjoyed it. People asked if I would recommend it. I would highly recommend it.
Yes.
While we were on the boat, Rashawn, like the second day, he asked me, when are we booking the next one?
Right. I had a good time. And you know what it is? You know me. I'm the type of person that I like to know what's going on. I like to know that my kids are having fun. And there, it's nonstop fun for all ages. They were 5 and 4 when we took the trip. They're 6 and 5 now. The 6 and 5-year-old had a great time. There's so many kids the same age.
Brookie had a great time.
Brookie had a great time.
Logan and Madison had a great time. Really quick, they also have teen clubs.
Correct.
So I thought to myself, like, kids aren't going to want to go to a teen club on the boat. Logan was like, I'm out. Logan went. He didn't get back till 2:00 in the morning.
Right.
Every single night, because he was having so much fun and making friends at the teen club. Madison didn't want to go. She stayed in the room and slept, but Logan was getting back at like 2 a.m.
Chilling.
And I was up waiting for him because I was so worried that someone's going to drag him overboard and toss him. I'm a mom, so I was a little paranoid. So I was up until 2:00 every night, knowing that we had to get up at 6 to start getting ready for, the next day. So they had a great time.
He was playing dodgeball, foosball. It was good.
I thought it was fabulous.
And they have an adult section too, where adult only pool, adult only area where they have a bar, they have a jacuzzi, they have like a little lounge. So it's a little bit for everybody.
The shows were great.
The shows were not cheap.
We went to the shows every night. They were wonderful.
Phenomenal, right?
Oh my God, they had Beauty and the Beast. And I'm not really a show goer. Like, I'm not a Broadway show type girl. Like, I've enjoyed them, but I'm not going to make it my business to get tickets for said show.
Right.
But we went for the kids and I wound up having a great time. Beauty and the Beast was phenomenal. And we're giving you this information because so many of you have kids and it may be a consideration or is a consideration now or at some time in the future. So now you have a little bit of what we experienced to go off of.
That's right. And sidebar, before we continue, for Mother's Day, Gia and I bought my mom tickets to see The Temptations. And she's seen it a couple of days ago because the show was, well, we don't know what yesterday is when people listen, but she's seen it a couple of days ago. And boy, did she have a phenomenal time.
She said it was the best gift we've ever given her.
I'm
like, well, I need to go see that show because we've given you some good gifts.
Yeah. So if your family or your mom is into music, she doesn't have to be black. She doesn't have to be minority, whatever. My mom said the crowd was so mixed. Everybody knew every word. She said it was a great, great time. She said we were dancing. So that is a great gift. The Temptations are on Broadway. We got it for my mom.
The Temptations aren't on Broadway.
Well,
it's
the Temptations Broadway show. Well, they all dead except one.
So clearly they're not on Broadway.
So clearly they're not on Broadway. They're all dead but one. But my mom really enjoyed it. So I just wanted to put that out there. People always are like, well, I don't know what to get my mom. This, that, and the other. That play was amazing. All right. Now, before we start the podcast, I guess we started the podcast. Let's give you an update on Logan.
Oh, okay. Yes.
The last podcast we did, Logan was on punishment. We ended up. It
was called Logan Goes on Trial.
Yeah, Logan went on trial.
You turned it into Logan is on punishment.
No, he was. So we left off with Logan only allowed to play video games on weekends.
Well, it's not even video games; it's Fortnite.
Fortnite on weekends, and we see how he was acting to see if we'd give him a little more.
You put him on probation.
To give him a little more time, and I think he's changed a lot.
He's an angel.
Yeah, I think he's changed a lot.
Like what we did literally worked like a charm.
Yeah, very respectful.
It worked like a charm.
Over and extra. Put like this. We have a little dog, right? A little tiny dog, right? A little dog.
A micro Pomeranian.
And I guess, I don't know who had the micro Pomeranian, but her
name is Lola. You know she has a name.
I don't know what the dog's name is anymore. I don't know if it was Winter, if it was Lola, if it was Choo Choo. Who knows what you named this dog? But anyway, somebody must have had the dog out, and the dog made a little mess, made a little poop. I seen the poop, and I honestly was like, you know what? Let me see if I'm gonna call Logan and tell him the poop is here to clean it up.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday I said, Logan, you know, the dog made a little mess downstairs. I need you to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Logan went, called me and was like, Dad, I don't see the mess. Where's the mess?
Because the dog is so tiny, like the poop is damn near
poop is like the size of a penny. It's not that big, but I just happened to see it. And he went down there, cleaned it up, no problems, came upstairs, played with the dog. He is doing the right thing for right now. So for right now, he is.
Why you got to be so negative?
I said right now.
He's doing the right thing right now.
So right now.
You know that's negative.
It's not.
You could have just left it as he's doing the right thing. He is doing the right thing.
Right now.
If that changes, then you speak on it then. Like that's you're coming from a negative place.
He's doing the right thing.
That's not nice.
He's doing the right thing.
Yes, that's much better.
And yeah, so right now he's allowed to play Fortnite. He asks every day. Hey,
Does
Dad,
he ask every single day?
Hey, Dad, do you mind if I play Fortnite? And I'd be like, did you clean your room? He'd be like, yeah. I'd be like, did you see if Maddie or Mommy needs anything? He'd be like, well, Mommy's watching her show or...
What? See, now that's wrong. What is that?
What?
Did you see if Maddie or Mommy needs anything? So now you're trying to turn him into a servant? What do you mean, did you see if Maddie or Mommy needs anything?
Yes, because you might need something. And I'm not here, so yeah, do it.
But he needs to check to see if Madison needs something. So he's supposed to go and knock on her door and be like, Madison, is there anything that you would like at this moment?
Nah, but hey, Madison,
and she'd be like, bring me some crumpets and macaroons.
Nah, but now go check on your sister. Hey, Maddie, what's up? Everything good? Yeah, everything good? You all right? All right, that's all I want. Just check on your sister.
You listen. Your description sounds crazy.
I don't care. Well,
did you check on Mommy and Maddie?
He has to, and he did. So he says he does, and from there, he's allowed to play his video games every day.
He's so darling and so obedient right now. I cannot believe how effective our technique has been. Like it's shocking.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's a doll. Like he really is. I'm blown away.
He had his first encounter with the police. Did he tell you?
He got pulled over twice.
Which I thought was...
What kind of bike is that? What is that?
Thank God it wasn't the gasoline motorcycle, and it was the electric motorcycle.
We have a gasoline motorcycle?
Yes, we have a gasoline motorcycle, a regular motorcycle that he drives. We got it for him for Christmas. You don't remember the green bike?
So wait, which one did he get pulled over on?
The electric one.
What color is that?
Red.
When did we get that for?
That was Christmas like 5 years ago.
That's the one that he was... Do you understand why I completely disregarded that bike and thought that he was riding the gasoline-powered one?
No, he was riding the electric bike, and if you know...
Can he fit that bike anymore?
Yeah. I mean, I ride the bike to pick up the mail. Yeah, you can ride that mic. So he rides the bike. He can
ride that mic?
You know what I mean.
Word boo?
Shut up.
Just like that?
He could ride the bike. So he was riding his bike to his friend's house.
Just need a clarification.
And the cops pulled up on him.
Uh-huh.
So he said he didn't know what to do. So the cop was like, hey, what are you doing? He was like, I'm riding the bike to my friend's house. So the cop
Where do you live?
The cop said, where do you live?
Uh-huh.
And he was like, I live wherever. And he was like, all right, well, you can't ride the bike. Next time I catch you riding the bike, I'm going to impound it. So Logan jetted home, got home, and he told me. I started laughing. He started laughing.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, there ain't never no cops around here. I said, you can ride. Who cares? I said, that's the first time I ever seen a cop. I said, you know how much we've been riding the go-karts on the street and quads? I said, don't worry about it. He's like, all right, Dad. I'm a fucked up dad. Next day, he goes back out to his friend's house.
Gets pulled over again.
No, he sees the cop this time.
No, I know.
He turns around and takes off, right?
Right.
And I'm like, Logan, it's kind of, you can't really take off. You're like, you're the only black kid in the area. Like, it's not that hard to find you.
Mm-hmm.
So he takes off and he's jetting back home. So the cop
pulls up behind him.
Whoop!
Mm-hmm.
No, first he said he calls you and says, Mom, open the gate now.
Yeah. So he was trying to time it. Right. So he's like, Mom, the cops are following me. Open up the gate. So this way, as he's going, he doesn't have to stop. He could just go right onto the property.
Right. I guess you didn't open the gate?
I did. Well, first I'm like, well, what's going on?
You're asking 1,000,001 questions. Open the damn gate, just like a woman.
But then he remembered he left it kind of pried so he can get in so that he wouldn't, just in case I didn't answer the phone when
Smart
he got home.
kid.
Yeah.
So the cops,
because punching in the code is above him, apparently.
Well, the cops was following him. He had to run.
No. But he pried the gate before he knew that anything was going to happen.
Just in case he had to jet.
Like, I don't know why he just doesn't memorize the code. It's very strange. Anyway.
So his ass came up the gate, and as soon as he got to the gate, whoop, whoop.
Mm-hmm.
Cop, let me talk to you for a second. So Logan's like, oh, man.
I'm on the phone with him. He's like, what's up?
That's what Logan said?
Yeah, I'm on the phone with him. He's like, what's up?
So the guy was like, you're not supposed to be riding this around here.
No, he said, is it gas or electric?
Gas or electric. He said, you're not supposed to be riding it. They thought it was gas. So Logan was like, it's electric. So the cop was like, oh, yeah, you can ride this. Just put on the helmet. You're all good. You can ride it.
Yeah, he said the cop was really nice.
He said, you can ride it. Just put on the helmet. He was like, yeah, because if it was gasoline, I would have to impound it. So Logan was like, they would really take my bike? I was like, if they wanted to, they could. So now he has to rock a helmet. Well, he should be rocking a helmet anyway, I guess.
Right.
But I just thought that was funny. His first encounter with a police officer. Mm-hmm. Real funny.
So now you said that you want to talk about some real ish. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, something that bothered me. And I want people to weigh in on it, and I want you to weigh in on it as well.
Okay.
As men, sometimes we think we're doing the right thing, but we're actually doing the wrong thing. And when it really, really affects and bothers us, that's when it's a problem or situation. I know a lot of you are like, what the fuck is he talking about?
He's looking something up on his phone as he's speaking.
So now, the other day, I was in San Antonio for the Breakfast Club. Mm-hmm. The Breakfast Club, where it's syndicated in all these different markets, over 90 markets. And we were in San Antonio broadcasting live. And I always have a problem with going to certain places, certain areas when we have to broadcast, because I feel like me broadcasting in these areas and taking these trips, I miss family time. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it really bothers me. And I don't have to go, but sometimes going and makes you a team player. Why are you getting naked? Preparing for after? All right. So anyway, serious.
Why are you, like, all on my side of the bed?
So this is what really, really bothered me. So I was out in San Antonio, and London had a daddy and daughter Father's Day brunch or picnic. Mm-hmm. I couldn't make it because I was in San Antonio.
Right.
So I called my dad and I asked, hey, Dad, can you go out to, do the brunch because I'm not there? And if you don't know, my dad is a police officer. He asks me one question. Sometimes I think the questions he asks are asshole-ish questions, but that's just him. I think he called Gia, was like, well, what happened if one of the kids don't have the father and their father's dead? I know Gia was like, I don't know. I've never talked to a kid that doesn't have a father. But London does have a dad and he has a granddad and we need you there. But anyway, so London wrote this message to me and it really hurt me. So during the brunch, I guess, all the kids give their dad a letter that they wrote or a picture that they prepare or food that they made. And I wasn't there and that really upset me. So the letter was, Daddy, you are my knight in shining honor and armor. Wow. Armor. Let me read that again.
You start over, please. Thank you.
Daddy, you are my knight in shining armor because you took me to Disney. I had so much fun. I also love laying down with Daddy in his bed because we cuddle all the time. Mm-hmm. I love my daddy. Happy Father's Day, London. Mm-hmm. So now I'm out in San Antonio doing Breakfast Club shit.
Right.
And I get that letter.
Your dad sent it to you?
Yeah, my dad sent it to me.
Okay. He screenshot it and just sent it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So now it pisses me off because I'm like, I never want to be the dad. And I'm not saying I am the dad, but this really pissed me off because I was like, I work so much. Mm-hmm. I work so hard. Now people say, well, you work so hard, you have a lot, but I don't have everything that I want. And people say, well, what do you want? You have cars, you have houses, you have everything that you seem like you need. No, but I don't have, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm going to say it, but I don't think this is the word I'm looking for. I don't have legacy. I don't know if that's the word. And when I say legacy, I admire a lot of people like the Rockefellers, not him as a person, but him and what his family has done, the Trumps. I admire Jay-Z and Beyonce, what they've created. I admire a lot of that. And the reason I admire a lot of that is because they set up something for their kids' future. Not just, all right, I die, they get the life insurance policy, and that's it. Mm-hmm. I really respect the fact that, like, you look at Trump, and I dislike Trump as a president. I was about to ask
a little bit of clarification on that.
I dislike Trump as a president, but I do love the fact what his family created, and that is Trump Towers, Trump casinos, Trump housing, all that stuff is money that he was just born into, right? You understand what I'm saying?
You said it was money that he was born into?
It's money that he was born into. Yeah, his father was Trump and bought all these buildings, and he came right under that. And the reason I say that is I want to create something for my kids that can last the test of time. Not only for my kids, for my grandkids, for my great-grandkids, something that I can establish that's like, wow, that is the Casey's. Whether it's buildings or houses or something that I can give them and they can continue what I've worked so hard on, and they can run with it. You know, you and I, we worked hard for everything. And I'm not saying working hard is bad, but we would have loved some help. We'd have loved a layup. We'd have loved $1 million loan. We'd have loved a start, but we had to figure it all out on our own.
And there's something to be said for that.
There is.
Right.
But we were lucky. And the reason I say we were lucky because there's a lot of people out there that necessarily didn't have the same luck as we did or have the same past as we did.
Do you really believe in the word luck?
I do a little bit.
Explain.
I believe a lot of people work hard. I believe a lot of people are in situations where they work hard and they grind, but sometimes it's not in their cards. Sometimes that's not God's plan for them. Sometimes it's not. And I understand that. And, you know, I put it to you like this. Growing up in Queens, there was 100 DJs. Out of the 100 DJs from where I am, I would say maybe 2 or 3 are super successful.
I'm just trying to count in my head.
I would say me, Clue, and probably Who Kid, as far as DJs are concerned. Okay. But there was a million of them, and a lot of them don't even DJ anymore because they just didn't get to that point.
Right.
But they still grinded. They still did mixtapes. They still did parties. They tried to do radio. They tried to do everything. But for some reason, it just didn't happen. And I understand that. And I get that.
Yeah, but I don't think that that's about luck. I don't know if I really believe in the word luck. I believe in situations and circumstances and your life lining up like dominoes. One situation affects the next, which affects the next, and so on. But luck, I don't think that I necessarily believe in the word luck. I
always say
I do believe that God blesses you.
Correct.
I believe that there's something to be said about, you know, the universe and energy that we put out and what comes back to us. And I think that it all kind of does a dance to create our outcomes and where we are. So I think to just use the word luck is a little cheap.
I don't necessarily think so. And the reason I say that is because of this, right? You look at how our cards played out, right? Kid from Queens, parents worked hard, middle class. I didn't have a loan or nothing like that. I was just going to school one day and I seen DJ Clue, right? And Gia says, you always tell that story.
You do always tell. Because you will never accept an award or give an acceptance speech without telling that story, which I think is beautiful. I think it's beautiful that you always pay homage and give respect where respect is due. Yeah,
shout out to Big Head Clue. Now, if it wasn't for Clue, I don't know where I would be today. And the reason I say that is because, and that's why I put so much positive energy out there. And that's why if you look at my Instagram, I talk about real estate.
Because
I talk about our relationship. I show the cars. I show the jewelry. I show the family. I show that stuff because I want people to see that it is obtainable with doing it the right way. That's why I push that stuff so much. And I don't care who hates or, oh, you showing off or, oh, you this. I don't give a fuck. I do it because I want people to see it. Because what I seen growing up was a lot of times the drug dealers driving up the block, down Springfield, blasting their music. And that's what I seen. And as a kid growing up, that could have heavy influence on me.
Yes.
And it actually did.
Yes.
But luckily, as I would say, the luck, I went up to Clue and I asked Clue what he did. Now, if Clue would have said, I sell drugs, I might have said, you know what? Well, I'm going to start because I want some of those nice things. I want to be driving a BMW at 18, 21. I want to be wearing dope kicks and having a dope Movado watch at the time at 18. Movado was popping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So was it luck that the person that I picked was Clue and that he was into music and not into anything illegal? Because everybody else was.
Well, Clue lived directly across the street from Rashawn.
Right.
But Clue's a few years older. And it's not like they went to school together or anything. And one day he saw Clue pull up on the block. I think it was with a BMW.
Correct.
And went across the street to ask him what he did.
Right.
And Clue told him that he's a DJ.
Right.
He said, come to my basement and I'm going to show you what I do.
Right.
And he showed him all his equipment and all the crates with the records and everything. And you were inspired. But I do believe that if he told you he did something else, that you would have been inspired by that as well. Because,
maybe.
Yeah, it's possible because, you know, as human beings, we see glitz and glamour and
we're attracted to it.
A lifestyle, and we can be attracted to it. And some people follow the good examples and some people follow the bad examples.
Correct.
So it's a good thing that it was a good influence that he had. Go ahead.
So with that being said, that was luck to me because it could have been anybody. He could have been doing anything. I didn't know Clue was a DJ at the time. I had no clue.
Right, because at the time, DJ Clue in Queens was popping, but he was also a mystery.
Right.
Because on his mixtapes, there was no picture of him.
No, it was just
a question mark.
Correct.
That was his logo. So that was kind of, aside from his talent, it was also part of his appeal, like what made him so dope, like who is Clue?
Correct.
And I remember before I met you, I heard about Clue and I had some Clue mixtapes and I heard people talk about Clue like he was like this urban legend almost.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So it was great marketing.
Great marketing.
It was kind of brilliant.
The biggest
like
mixtape DJ of all time. Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
Yes.
So that's why I say.
So when you approached him, you didn't know that he was Clue.
I didn't know what he did.
Right.
And I would say that inspiration and that luck, because like I said, it could have been anybody, got me into DJing and made me fall in love to music even more. So the reason I say that was luck.
It was lucky, but it was a circumstance.
Okay, you could say that. But now let me say this. I started doing mixtapes, right? I transformed mixtapes into DJing on the radio, to doing mix show.
Well, that wasn't
Yeah,
a direct line. Like that's not the only thing. You were doing mixtapes. You started doing parties.
Right.
And you did that for years.
But a lot of people didn't do that. Out of all the DJs that was with me, maybe 3 said I'm gonna do radio. And the reason why people didn't want to do radio is because we made way more money in the streets.
Right.
And doing radio made no money. But I did it because I was like, I just have a feeling that this is gonna be the next wave. And I went towards radio and I slowed down doing mixtapes. And then what happened? Mixtapes stopped.
Mixtapes stopped.
It
was like a screeching halt.
It stopped. So all the mixtape DJs.
Mixtapes stopped because online started growing and people started getting their music digitally instead of CD.
Correct. Correct.
So it was like actual cassette tapes. Then it went to CDs and then people started getting their music on the internet.
Right.
So when people started getting their music on the internet, the sales of CDs stopped and then
Correct.
the money damn near stopped.
Correct. So when it came to that, but just push your thing in, baby, because your mic went out a couple times. There you go.
Okay.
So when it came to that, I was lucky. I went to radio. So when mixtape stopped, I had radio. Then I learned how to broadcast. Then from broadcasting, I did morning shows. So to me, that was all guided by God because I had no clue. I
believe in things being guided by God.
So with that being said,
God and luck aren't like, you can't confuse blessings with luck. Yeah. In my opinion.
I mean, I do feel it was a lot blessings.
I think it's just a choice of words.
And I think it was a little bit of luck. But anyway, the reason I say that I worked so hard is because I want to set up something for our family.
But the way that you started this was saying that you don't have everything that you want.
Right.
And you said that you don't have legacy. I don't understand I'm a little confused because that is what we are doing now. We are creating that legacy.
Right.
We are doing that.
Right.
You're saying that you don't have it already, but you're at a point now, as we have been for a few years, where we are creating that.
So your mic is going crazy, baby. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know if it's your mic or what. Every time you talk on the mic is crazy.
But
I'm sorry, people out there.
So maybe it's
I know.
both mics.
I don't know what you're doing. Nah, my mic is good.
But we switched. You want to switch again?
No.
I'm talking directly into the mic, boo.
Yeah, but maybe you're too close.
Is that better?
Or maybe it's the way you're holding it.
I'm not doing anything that I haven't done for the previous 100 plus episodes.
I don't know. It's just weird. Anyway, yeah, you were saying.
But yeah, I mean, we're working, as we have been for the past few years, on creating that legacy. So it's not something that you can create abruptly. creating a legacy.
Hey, let's change the mic again.
Okay, here.
I don't know what the fuck is going on. It's the weirdest part.
Language.
I'm sorry, people out there. This is.
Just give it to me. Come on.
I'm giving it to you now. Okay.
Is that any better?
Yeah, way better.
Okay. It's something that has to be created. It's not something that can be built overnight. Right. So you can't be disappointed that it is not all the way set up. We want to build something great for all 5 of our children. So that means putting in a whole lot of work. Right. So it's not going to be created and completed by tomorrow. I
didn't think it is, and I don't want it to be, but
that's what I don't understand.
When I say legacy, I want to create something that my kids and my family is not only good, they have a job, they're secure, and then not only that, I can make sure that some of the people in my community are secure.
I'm not setting them up to have a job.
Oh, I am. And let me explain. So now when it comes to real estate, I'm in a real estate heavy. I love real estate. We do so much in real estate, right?
Right.
I want to buy as many buildings and as many houses that now they have something that comes in regardless. So creating generational wealth. Like
right.
A lot of the houses we bought and buildings that we bought, between the 1st and the 5th, we get money regardless, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. So now if Madison decides, you know what, Dad, I want to take over the family business, then Madison jumps into that. Right. Then let's say Logan says, you know what, Maddie, I want to jump into business with you. Now they're both part of the Casey crew, whatever we call it, the Casey business, and they're both making money and they're both working to make what we have stronger and powerful. Maybe Madison will say, you know what, I'll be the attorney, and Logan, you go out and buy all the properties. Mm-hmm. And then let's say London comes up and says, hey, I want to do this. And they could be like, you know what, London, you control all the construction, make sure all the construction is done. But I love that.
That's not to be confused with a job. I don't think that, how do I put this? I don't want it to be my kids' goals to have a job.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be their goals to do something that they love doing.
Correct.
And I would hope that they establish a career doing that, or if it is business, that they own a business. That will be my goal. It's not going to be my goal for my kids to end up working for someone.
Right.
May it happen that way? Absolutely. It may happen that way. I do.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Well, I work for somebody.
I understand that, but at the same time, that you work for somebody, what you do is beneficial, and it's also a conduit. Right. And it feeds the things that you do where you're not working for somebody.
Right.
So if you were solely working for somebody and you were satisfied solely working for somebody, mm-hmm. me as your wife, I would have a problem with that.
Okay.
Because it's our job as each other's cheerleaders to want better for our partners. We should always be uplifting and rooting for greater.
Right.
And I don't think that anyone should ever just settle. So if you were just doing the Breakfast Club, and when I say just, believe me, clearly it's a great thing, and you affect people, you and your co-host, because you communicate with people every day. You entertain, you inspire, you feed the culture.
Right.
It's a great thing. But if you don't use that as a conduit or as a way to do greater things, then you'd be remiss.
But you know what? See, that's the thing. And you get to a certain point in your life where your things change. When I first started working, all I wanted to do was make money.
I know.
I ain't give a fuck about shit. I wanted as many jobs as I possibly can to make sure I had enough income coming in to make sure I was secure, make sure we were good, make sure we had bread.
But hopefully, as you've gotten older and matured, you realize that it's not just about making money. Well, it's also about your community. It's also about your culture. It's also about your contribution to society. And you know that.
Well, I still want to make money. Money is power. And
of course, but it's not only about making money. And you know that.
No, it's not only about making money, but I do want to make a lot of money.
You talk about your community relentlessly.
Right. It's also about power, but it's not only about making money now. Now, I want to get people who didn't learn about investing and that feels like they're left out and left behind. I want to teach those people how to do it because nobody taught me.
That's a contribution.
My priorities change,
Right.
But with our kids, I want to make it so that the priorities continue to change. Meaning, I want to do it so big that all my kids and grandkids, they're all good, but they're also helping people in the community.
Right.
And that's with, having buildings. And for people that don't know, like, we do construction a lot and we do real estate a lot. So we buy buildings, buy houses, we fix it up. We give people a great place to live. And not only that, we employ so many people, whether it's construction people to do construction or, plumbers or electricians or you name it, handyman, realtors, brokers, everybody. We give a job, and that's what we do. And I want to continue that legacy with our kids.
Right.
So sometimes I feel like, yes, I missed this Father's Day brunch. Mm-hmm. Even, I didn't even tell you, even this Sunday, right? This Sunday's Father's Day.
Right.
Right? Mm-hmm. I got an offer to do something out in Denver. Mm-hmm. It's very hard to say no.
I know it is for you.
It's very hard. And the reason I say it's so hard is because I've seen so many people that were great, comfortable, and then when the shit hits the fan, it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
And I never want to be that person that's like, fuck.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what happens? There's a 99.85% that I won't see y'all on Father's Day. Mm-hmm. But daddy got to go get that bread.
Right.
And daddy got to go make sure that everybody's good. Mm-hmm. And that's what I was, to go back to the letter that, London wrote me. That letter really hurt because now I'm in a position to be like, and I know a lot of dads go through it. And I know a lot of moms go through it. Like, do I work so hard for my family that I miss out on some of those special occasions, And I mean, my dad didn't necessarily do that, but I think most people, when they get to the age of 22, 23, they realize, damn, he busted his ass for us. But now when they're like 6 or 7 and I hear my daughter be like, Dad, I don't ever want you to go back to San Antonio. Mm-hmm. Or, Dad, I don't ever want you to go back to Atlanta.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah. She was like, he's in Atlanta again.
I know.
Yeah.
So it really hurts and it really bothers. So, well, what is your advice? And that's the reason I'm asking this, is because I know there's a lot of people out there that have the same concerns and same questions and same situations.
It depends on the family dynamic. There are, and of course it can be vice versa, but I'll just use our example as universal example. There are a lot of men that, have to go out and work and support the family. And they can be a police officer or in the medical field. They could work in an emergency room, and they might have to work through the night on, say, a Christmas or a Thanksgiving, or, they can be a business person and they're traveling across the country on special days and whatnot. And there can be some wives or some husbands if it's, the reverse. But again, I'll just say there can be some wives that don't support it.
Right.
That aren't with it.
Right. That
will prioritize the time with the family over the security of their job, over their income and their lifestyle, over whatever they see. For me, I've always supported your career, and I've supported everything that you've needed to do to make sure that your career is on solid ground. I want to make sure that your footing is good and that you're also securing your longevity in your field. So I understand, and I'm like, go babe. So in our household, it's just been our dynamic. It's been our house culture where when you are away, it is okay.
Right.
And Madison and Logan, they were raised that way, and they are okay. It is expected. It is understood. It is appreciated. It's not something that, of course, we miss you and whatnot, but it's not something that saddens them because they understood. They've always understood and continue to understand that it's for the greater good.
Right.
So the babies will grow up under the same culture and understand it in the same way. Yes, a 5-year-old will say, oh, I just wish that he was in Atlanta, again. But, as she gets 7 and 8, she will understand even better. And to be honest, even now, she may say that, but it's still okay. It's still okay because we've created comfort around the fact that there are times where you are not going to be here.
Right.
There are weekends, even if nothing special is going on, where everyone will miss you and you will not be here, but they've learned to be okay with it. But now if those are my values.
Right.
Those are my values. And for me, that is what I envision as the greater good. But I also understand women who will prioritize just the time being spent, and maybe their overall circumstances doesn't enable to make it as comfortable for their family, and they can't accept it as easily. So it's different strokes for different folks. So I understand those women as well that, their husbands are police officers and, are working on Christmas Eve and, will miss Christmas morning with the kids getting up and whatnot. Like, I understand them as well.
Right.
That's just the way that I see it in my life.
But, we were talking about, I was going to say accolades and awards. And you was like, how does it feel when you win an award or if you win an award? And I was like, well, it feels good, but that's not my main focus. It doesn't make me as happy as other things. And you was like, what? Last week we got an award. It's Black Music Month, and they gave the Breakfast Club an award for what we do for the culture, right?
Mm-hmm. City Hall did.
And thank you to Councilman Andy King from the Bronx. And the award was great, but you know what was even better?
What was that?
Before the award, and we were downstairs waiting to go upstairs to get the award, and a lady came up to us. I don't know if you remember. And she was like, I just want to say thank you guys. And we was like, thank you for what? She was like,
thank you
to me and you. You were there too.
Okay.
It was both of us. And she was like, I just want to say thank you. And he's like, for what? And she was like, you guys have been posting pictures of your family for so long. And I feel like people didn't necessarily get to see that before you guys started posting your family so much.
Yeah.
And she was like, you guys encouraged the whole generation to start posting their family and being proud of their family.
Yeah.
And she was like, I just want to say thank you. And I was like, damn, that's dope.
Mm-hmm.
And, when I was walking away, somebody else stopped me and was like, yo, MB, I just want to say thank you. And I was like, for what? He was like, I do real estate. And the reason I did real estate was because I follow you on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what you mean? He was like, I see what you do with real estate and what you flip and you and Caesar. And it made me look into it more, and it got me motivated and focused to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Those compliments and those comments make me go even harder. I really enjoy those comments and those things.
Yes, absolutely.
But I would just say to a lot of those dads out there, I really, when I was in San Antonio, it ruined my whole day. Because I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
And now, I'm not going to lie, most people would be like, you know what? This is sad, and I'm going to stop. It pushed me to work harder. Because and this is the fucked up shit about me. My mind doesn't think like that.
What do you mean?
My mind thinks, well, fuck, I got to make $100 million next year because I need a private jet so I could have went to the brunch and then flew out to fucking San Antonio to do what I had to do.
See, now you're doing too much.
But that's the way that I fucking think. That's the way that I think. I'm like, that's the way I think. I'm like, I need my cake and I need to eat it too.
Way too much.
Turo is the largest car sharing marketplace in the world, available across the U.S., Canada, the UK, and Germany with over 10 million users worldwide. Now, Turo has the widest selection of cars available, so you can choose the right car for whatever occasion, often at a lower cost than rental car companies. Whether it's a pickup truck for moving day or a flashy convertible for a weekend getaway, find the perfect car for your next adventure on Turo. Hop on the Turo app or website, find and book the car you want, then meet the host and they'll hand over the keys. That is dope. Download the Turo app. That's Turo on the App Store or Google Play or visit Turo.com. Get $25 off your first trip when you sign up with the promo code KCCrew25 at checkout. Terms apply. All right. Well, let's get to the email. Okay. Let me click it. Oh, man, it's not loading up. Son of a gun. It was just here. Hold on, baby. This was a pretty funny one. Well, not funny, but it was pretty good.
It was an email or a DM?
It was an email. It was an email. All right, let me go to another email then. That sucks. That was a pretty good one.
You screenshot it or
no,
you just had it up?
I just had it up. Here it goes. Help, I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. Hey, Gia and Envy, my name is Renita, and I'm a really big... Yeah, this is Caesar calling me. Damn, I want to answer this because it could be some news that we're trying to do, but I won't answer. I'll send him a voicemail. Yeah. Renita, and I'm a really big fan of your podcast, and I'm hoping you guys can help me with my problem. I've been with my boyfriend for 2 years. He treats me great, and we have a lot of fun together, and we talk about getting married and having kids. But there's one problem. What's the problem, baby?
He can't have kids?
No, the sex is terrible.
Oh, damn.
The reason the sex is so bad is because he takes forever to come. Sometimes as long as an hour and a half.
Nah, B.
I wish I had that problem. And sometimes in the middle of sex, his penis goes soft and it takes him a while to get it back up. And it's like we started all over from the beginning. And when that happens, I want to scream.
Yes.
Another reason I hate the sex is because we always do it missionary position. Ain't nothing wrong with missionary, which is very boring and tedious. He never wants to try new positions. I have not told my boyfriend how I feel about our sex. We do not live together, and lately when I go to his house, I make excuses to avoid sex. I'll say I can't stay long or I'm on my period. I can't imagine marrying him and having to have sex with him for the rest of my life. That would drive me crazy. Yeah. How can I tell him how I feel, and how can I make the sex better? Oh, this is easy. First of all, you want me to go first?
Yes, since it's so easy.
Your ass needs to get on the treadmill. All right, stop being lazy. You're tired. And he takes an hour and a half. You know what that is? That's because you probably get tired too fast or your leg muscles are not good enough. Right? Now,
well, I have to say, I wonder, wait, I just have to say, I wonder if the missionary is her on top or him on top. It must be her on top because otherwise she would just be laying there.
Right. And I'm going to say that, because Gia, right?
Wait, you have to bring me into this.
Yeah, I am.
Who asked you to bring me into this? No, don't bring me into this.
Sometimes when we have sex, right? I like when Gia rides me.
Awesome.
Right? I like.
Rashawn,
I'm just telling people.
What are we doing?
If you have kids in the car, just cover their ears for a second. I like when she rides me. I like when she rides me and I see her ass bouncing up and down.
That's
right?
Awesome.
I love it.
Create a visual
enjoy
for everyone. That's
I like to hold it.
Fantastic.
But sometimes that hurts Gia's legs.
It depends on how long I'm doing it.
Exactly.
Yes.
And this is the lady. This lady might be doing it too long and her legs start hurting.
I'm like, it's like Charlie horse time, dude. Like we need to switch it up.
Right. But what happens is you do it enough that you good now. So now,
so I could just be a stallion.
You can be a stallion, motherfucker. Right, and you can do that shit. If it takes 30 minutes, you don't
have to do it. They can't see you.
You doing that shit for 30 minutes. So that's what you have to do. And also what you have to do, there's something that makes every man nut, of course. And it's something that turns a man on that makes him nut and makes him come fast, right? There is something. Gia knows that for me. A lot of women out there know it for their man. Gia knows if she's tired and we're having sex, she knows her 1-2 thing that's going to make me come immediately, right or wrong?
I do.
Right? And when it's time for that to happen, do I come immediately?
You do.
You got to find that shit.
It's called the key.
Whatever. And if the sex don't work, you get some lotion and you jerk them off.
For an hour?
If
she's gonna get carpal tunnel.
If she jerks him off, right?
Well, dude.
No, but if she jerks him off, plays with his balls, and plays with his nipples, I bet you he comes fast.
The trifecta.
The trifecta. I'm serious. Like you got to find what turns him on. Like and missionary.
Wait, what turned you on?
You know what turns me on.
I know that I know, but you brought me into this, so bring yourself into this.
I mean, there's many different things. I don't have no problem coming. Once that, all right, you want me to tell you? Once that tight, wet, juicy vagina is
okay. No. I thought it was something special.
All right, see?
I thought you were going to say something special, like a trick.
Now shut the fuck up.
I thought you were going to say like a trick.
There's a bunch of trips
or something, or like a little button.
When you get that wet mouth and you be like,
no, come on, no. That's not what I was asking for.
You asked me what turns me on, how I come. That's you, motherfucker. You want me to say it? I'll say it. No, it ain't too much.
I was talking about like a trick or like something. Everybody has the things that you just described. That's not special.
Now answer the lady.
Ooh, this is tough because, oh man, I want to say the right thing. But, she said she's been with him. She loves him. They've been together for 2 years.
Correct.
And he treats her amazing.
Correct.
So that takes precedent over everything else. But let me just tell you, I understand an hour and a half of sex every time that you have sex.
Most women are like, ooh, yeah, he goes in.
No, listen.
That was some 21-year-old shit.
Some women, no, it's not about age. When I was 21, I wouldn't have wanted hour and a half long sex. I want sex to last long enough for foreplay, for intercourse that will achieve pre-pleasure, orgasm for me, pre-pleasure for you, an orgasm for you, and then cuddling afterwards.
Right.
I don't want all the extra stuff. I don't want to move around the room for an hour. I don't want to have 16 different positions. I don't want to feel as though, we're having sex and it's ineffective because this position is not working for you. That position is not working for you. It's ineffective. You feel as though you're not, I don't want to say capable, but as though the things that you're doing aren't good enough.
Right.
As you are proceeding, because clearly she is trying to get the job done.
Correct.
And if you just continue and it's not working, I can only imagine, because this hasn't been our experience, but I can only imagine that she may be laying there thinking, is something wrong?
Right.
Is he not enjoying my body? Is it not tight enough? Is it not wet enough? Am I not attractive enough? Am I not saying the right things? Am I not moaning sexy enough? Am I is there something going on?
Right.
What is missing? Why is it taking him so long to come? Which I'm going to ask you what that could possibly be. So you can tell us from a man's point of view. But regardless of the answer, the end result is that it is taking a long time. And that's a lot of time to dedicate to sex every single time.
Right.
I mean, we've had hour-long sex, but that includes foreplay and kissing and connecting and pure pleasure. It's pleasure. It's not work.
Right.
And I think that just connected for me. That's the difference.
Right.
When it goes from a pleasurable experience for two people where you're emotionally intertwined and being pleased to friggin' work, to where you feel like it's a job. And to me, I'm quite sure, based on what she wrote, that she feels as though it's a job.
Right.
I don't want to come home from work and then go back to work. I don't want to work. I don't want to work for it. I want it to come naturally. I want to feel as though I'm pleasurable to you. I want to feel pleasure by you. And I want to cuddle and canoodle and kiss at the end and tell each other how much we love each other and drift off to La La Land.
Absolutely.
And that should be the experience. And I'm sure that that's the reason why she's saying, I can't imagine a lifetime of this. It's so grueling for her that she's making excuses as to why it can't be done. I know he's probably thinking really? He had your period for the third time this month?
I know, right? Damn, you're a bloody motherfucker.
So at the end, what was her question? What should I do? Should I stay in the relationship?
Yeah,
how did she phrase it? I'm curious.
She said, how can I tell him how I feel and how can I make the sex better? Sincerely, Renita.
Okay. I think that, as I say for the end of most of our emails, you need to sit down and have a conversation. This is heavily weighing on you. This is something that falls into the category of it's only a matter of time. The conversation is going to be had, whether it's about you spending the rest of your life with him or you just not being able to stand another week when it gets to that point.
Right.
You're going to need to sit down and have that convo. It is inevitable. Better sooner than later, as with most things. So I think you need to find out, in his words, why it takes him so long to climax.
Right.
Is it him? Has it always been that way with all of his partners? Because it could just be physiological for him.
Correct.
That can just be the way that his body works.
Right.
I think that we all get to orgasm using different tools.
Right.
Some people, it can just be physical. For me, it's absolutely mental. It is what I'm feeling, what I'm imagining, how much love I'm feeling, and obviously physically. But to be honest with you, you could have a 3.5-inch penis and I would still orgasm.
Right.
Because I love you that much. I am into it. I am completely engulfed in the experience. So for me, it's not as physical. It's more mental. So you need to figure out what his key is, what it is that triggers him, that moment before he orgasms. What is it that brought him to that point?
Right.
And using that information, you may be able to bring it on sooner, but it can't be a you thing. It can't be a him thing.
Right.
It has to be a you guys thing, an us thing.
Right.
We need to work on that together. He has to know that it displeases you. You wouldn't use the word displeases you, but he would have to know how it affects you. And you would really have to explain to him, it's long, it's tedious, it's dissatisfying. Again, choose different adjectives. But it's taking a toll on you, and it's getting to a point where you don't really want to be a participant. So choose your words kindly and have that conversation with him and get down to the bottom of why it is. But, I have a girlfriend who is having some problems in her relationship. And she's like, yeah, I just think that, I need to sit down. Like you always say, we need to communicate. I need to sit down and talk to him. So I said, well, what's that conversation going to go like? And when she told me how that conversation was going to go, I was like, ill. And she was like, what? I was like, I don't know. But if someone sat me down to talk about something important that was close to my heart in my relationship with them, and they chose those words, it would do nothing but infuriate me and aggravate the situation. I said to said friend, you need to choose your words kindly, and you need to change your tone. It needs to be a nice conversation that comes from a good place. You don't want to show him that you're agitated or that you're upset. You want to create a conversational environment where he feels good or comfortable to talk to you and to tell you the truth. You need him to speak to you truthfully so that you can get to the bottom of it, so that you can both work together to fix the problem. So I would advise the same to her. Speak kindly, sit back, your body language, like don't be tense, like be loose, kick your feet up, throw your feet up on the couch, have a drink while you're talking, not necessarily alcohol, it could be a lemonade, but just be relaxed. Have the conversation, because when we talk about sex and our bodies and fantasies and things like that, you're on thin ice. People can get offended. No, they will get offended very, very easily. So you have to think about, it has to be a thoughtful process. You have to think about what you're going to say, how you're going to say it, and be deliberate in your actions to make sure that you don't offend him. But you need to find those answers and then work on it. You can make it a project. Have more sex with him. Trial and error. Figure it out together, because if you love him the way that you do, and he's amazing and you've had a fantastic 2 years, that's a lot harder to find in someone than good sex. There's a lot of good sex out there. There's a lot of sexy people, a lot of guys with big penises, girls with dope bodies, and all that stuff. They come a dime a dozen. A person that can make you happy with a great personality, that's funny, that will treat you right and put you first, and the things that it seems that you have in your relationship, that's a lot more rare. So that's what I think.
All right. Well, we wish you the best of luck, Renita. I'll tell you what I told you.
Okay, no, but I asked you a question.
What? What question is?
What do you think it might be? Just from a male's perspective. A guy that takes an hour and a half to have an orgasm every time.
I told you, she might not have found what turns him on and what gets him to that point. It could be a host of things. Maybe they
take me through the stroking process.
It could be maybe
that's really honest. I promise you, that's really what I'm thinking. Like the stroking process.
It doesn't have to be the stroking, bro. It could be something small. It could be something like maybe they use condoms and he doesn't have a feeling when they use condoms. It could be maybe.
She said though that halfway through sometimes he'll get soft and then have to basically reboot. To begin again.
That could be a problem. It could be a problem that maybe it's no disrespect, Renita. Maybe she's not tight enough, and
really?
It's maybe he doesn't feel the friction. It could be maybe her mouth is not wet enough and it's too dry.
Well, she didn't talk about oral sex. She was just talking about missionary.
She just said she can't get the nigga to come, can't get the dude to come. My bad. It could be a host of other things. That's why I said having that conversation, like you said, will be best, because then they can ask like, what turns you on? And then, like I said, it's her finding that spot that most men have that will come regardless. Just like I have that spot. I haven't found that spot with you.
You haven't found the spot with me?
Hell no.
What do you mean?
Sometimes you come fast and sometimes I feel like I'll be there an hour and a half. Like, motherfucker. Boom, 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 boom.
Okay, enough with the sound effects. It's never an hour and a half.
I know,
you need to stop.
I'm exaggerating. But
you don't feel like you've actually figured me out?
I figured you out from 20 years ago. 20 years ago, I didn't know what I was doing. I was putting my tongue everywhere, putting my penis everywhere. I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
But now you feel like you figured me out?
Yeah, now I have. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. When it's time to make you come now, or we get to that point, I know I can read your body and you can read my body. Maybe they just haven't been able to read each other's body
Yeah, they just may not have that synergy.
Right.
So
it takes time.
All right. Well, that's what I think.
Oh, Renita, we wish you the best of luck.
Oh, that was her. Oh, she gave her real name.
Yes.
Okay, good luck, Renita.
All right, it's time to get up out of here, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Now, everybody always asks about when we're doing real estate seminars in your town. All you have to do is click the link in my bio if you want to figure out. I know we're coming to New Orleans, we're coming to Chicago, we're coming to LA, and we're coming to Charlotte. So hopefully we get to see you guys. And also, all you guys, yes, the car show is coming back. Shout to all you guys that came to the car show. The next car show is September 7th in New Jersey. It's 5 minutes from the New York Bridge, so it's in the New York, New Jersey area. It's my birthday car show, so I hope to see you guys there.
Yes,
it's going to be a lot
there
of
with
fun.
The kids.
And Gia's going to be on time this one.
Well, it's not. See, that's not right. What you just did.
What?
Why was I not on time for the last car show, Rashawn?
We had a family emergency.
Yes. What do you mean I'm gonna be on time? You just made it seem like I couldn't get my eyeliner straight.
I didn't say that. Look, see, that's a guilty person. I just said Gia was going to be on time this time.
No, but you made it seem like it was just like I was flippantly late.
I didn't say that. I just said Gia will be on time this time. That's all I said. What?
I was in the hospital.
I didn't say you weren't. I didn't say, see, you're being guilty. I just said she will be on time. No, but it's
you
act like I just got to put my eyeliner on.
It's the implication.
You act like I put my lipstick on.
It was the implication behind.
What's the implication behind?
Yes, it is. Well, Gia's gonna be on time this time.
I just said my baby will be on time.
There was no my baby. I'm trying to make it nice now.
It's time to get up out of here.
Wait. I want to talk one more thing because you pissed me off earlier. The next time you yes me, you're gonna catch a black eye.
We'll talk about that next podcast.
I don't want to talk about that next podcast. I'm gonna forget my next podcast.
No, we won't.
I'm going to forget my next podcast. The next time that you yes me, ladies, and I'm sure some of you men out there, how many times have you been in a conversation with your person and as you're talking, you're asking questions and whatnot, and they're like, yeah, word, no, absolutely, yep. Oh, in your case, well, that's amazing.
We'll talk about it.
No, we're talking about it right now. Be quiet.
No. This is a good topic for next time.
It's not a good topic for next time.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes. We'll talk about it next time. This is a great topic for next time.
Is this a great topic?
I think so.
Next time, you might not be able to do the podcast because you might be incapacitated. Because if you do it between now and the next podcast, we're definitely going to fight.
We'll talk about it the next podcast.
All right.
Because see, you be because you be putting tricks. You be putting tricks in motherfucking shit. You be like, remember we went to that restaurant for Route 10 and this, that, and the other. I'm like, yeah. What restaurant was it then?
Exactly.
Huh?
Stop lying.
What restaurant was it? You remember what restaurant?
Why you always lying?
You be putting tricks out there.
Oh my God.
Oh, babe, I was watching this show and this, that, and the other. Yeah, a word. Yeah, word. And then you'd be like,
what show was it?
I didn't even finish my statement. So what was I going to say? We'll talk about it next time. You be trying to trick me and shit.
All right. I'll wait till next time.
All right. Well, it's time to get up out of here.
It was nice seeing you, beautiful people.
I'm DJ Envy.
And I am Gia Casey.
And that was another edition of the KC Crew.
Toodles.
In this portion of the KC Crew podcast is brought to you by Philo. Get over 50 of your channels like Revolt, BET, Lifetime, TLC, History with Philo. Philo brings you live and on-demand TV, plus unlimited recording. That's dope, unlimited recording. For only $20 a month with no contract needed. Philo is available on Roku, iOS, Fire TV, Android TV, and Apple TV. To start your free trial, visit philo.tv/KCCrew. That's philo.tv/KCCrew. And this portion of the KC Crew podcast is brought to you by Turo. Turo is the largest car sharing marketplace in the world where you can book any car you want from a community of trusted hosts. From exotic sports cars to pickup trucks, Turo has the wildest selection of car available anywhere for whatever occasion. So if you guys are coming to my car show, go to Turo and get a dope car to come, right? Download the Turo app. That's Turo on the App Store or Google Play, or visit Turo.com. Get $25 off your first trip when you sign up with the promo code KCCrew25 at checkout. Terms apply. 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 Checkout.